Good evening. How's everybody doing? Sorry about the wait. I had to put together a little keto sandwich. You know what I mean? Mic up a little bit. Hello. Yep. Turn this up a little bit. How's that? How y'all doing? Say something in the chat so that I know you're here, please. We're gonna get live this evening. Tonight is a free-for-all call-in. Call in and ask me anything. We're in a crossroads right now. Awakened Spirit, how are you? Thank you for joining. Feel free to call in anytime you want. Ask me anything in chat. Excuse me for being so rude. I shouldn't talk with my mouth full. Excuse me for being so rude. I shouldn't talk with my mouth full. So this is an open discussion. We're going to just talk about a few things. Try to take advantage of this time that we have. We're in limbo right now. With as much celebration as there is happening, the truth of the matter is we're in trouble. Okay, we're in trouble because everyone knows that there is something rather janky, shady, kind of slick happening with regard to the election that just passed. And, whether the person you were rooting for won or lost, if they did not win honestly, then we're in trouble. We are in big trouble because we are outpopulated in a country within which we have now made it okay to cheat. And more people can cheat more bigly than fewer people. And it may work to our benefit, or you may feel as though it's working to your benefit for this election, but down the road, when it's the other guy's time to cheat, there's not going to be much you can say about it because you open the floodgates. And I'm sure a lot of people are having a moral challenge, because although the left has said that if someone else is a Nazi or if someone else is a bad person, that we could just cancel them and that they don't have any rights and they don't deserve fairness and they don't deserve justice. Well, that which you are denying someone else is going to be denied to you. And so that we maintain a fair and just election process, we're going to have to make sure that everything went down kosher. Everything went down in a kosher manner. And the results may or may not be what they are today. Now, we already know that the mainstream media is a player in the game. They have a vested interest in the outcome. They have a side. They have a dog in the fight. So they can't really be trusted, which is really one of the most disappointing things, to me. I've been to third world countries. I've been to many countries. I've been to countries where they have Banana Republic government-controlled media. And it's very sad. It's very sad to witness the things that the people who grow up in this type of isolation have to live with and have to accept as truth. And so I don't want our nation to become that kind of place. And if we start accepting questionable election outcomes and questionable election tactics, then we're sliding down a slippery slope. And on the opposite end of that slope, is going to drop us off in a place where we don't have a country anymore, where there's no country. We have to honor and respect the institutions that make America possible for all of us, okay? If you guys don't mind, I'm in the middle of an ionic foot detoxification. So I'm going to continue my ionic foot bath detox. But that's the important thing, right? It may be funny, it may be a joke, it may be cute to say, oh, well, we got one over on them and we won because, we were able to get all of our counters in there and cheat and all the rest of that. That might be, you might think this is cute and things worked out, the way they're supposed to work out. But chill out on all of the dancing and hooping and hollering and all of the shenanigans, because it could be a setup, right? It could be a setup. Okay, all of this elation and emotion that you're feeling right now, celebrating this, if the courts turn around and reverse it, the powers that manipulated this situation expect you to react violently. Okay, they expect you to join Antifa and join BLM and get out in the street and cause mayhem and destruction and death and riots and fires and looting and just the destruction of our beautiful country. And I don't like to see us as black people being made the face of this type of foolishness, because it's just going to it's gonna hurt us. Okay, it's gonna be bad for us. All right, it's gonna be really bad for us. I don't like us being put out in the front to be the catalyst for the destruction of the country or for the start of a civil war. Excuse me, I'm starting my ionic foot bath. And I know I was probably very loud in the microphone there. Let me do my sound check while I was in the mic. This type of foolish. So I just want us to be careful. You know, I don't want us to be put in. We have nothing to do with the reasons that George Soros wants to destroy the United States of America. We have nothing to do with that. But we are being puppeted by Soros et al. The black community is being puppeted by Soros and company in order to vote with emotion. It's quite insulting that these people think that we are like children, that we are more emotional than rational, and that we can be motivated to vote along their interests out of a sense of victimization, out of a feeling of being victims. And we're not, okay? We're just not. We're just not victims. This is a new day. The Great Awakening has begun. You cannot put that genie back into the bottle. There's nothing that's going to change that. The Great Awakening is here, and we're going to continue to awaken. That's just the way it is. There's nothing that's going to change it. My book, Black American Party, is being written, and I'm still here. I'm still here pounding away. I don't consider myself primarily a political person. I'm really not. We are in a highly politicized time in our history right now, and we have to roll with it. But I am a truth teller, just like I was a truth teller with regard to MMS, chlorine dioxide, and I'm a truth teller with regard to all of the holistic remedies, therapies and remedies that I conduct here at the BiomedRx Health Center. I'm also a truth teller in many other ways as well. And here is no exception. Now, sometimes when you have truth, when you have honesty, when you have reality coming toward you from all directions, then the truth becomes your only friend, because not many people can handle the truth. And when you are the constant conduit of truth out into the world, you may find yourself alone. And that's okay, because when the truth is your only friend, then that means that God is your only friend. And if God is your only friend, then you got the best friend you could have. You got the only friend you need. And I'm not trying to, sound like a Hallmark card or say anything Pollyannish. I'm just saying the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. So here we are. All right. I want everyone to please stay careful and take care of yourselves. Don't get emotional. Don't get caught up in this. We're going to have to find out where the chips fall. It doesn't matter who is the president. What matters is if our system is fair. If we are fair and the way we're doing what we're doing. Okay? If our system is fair. So I'm just going to sit here, wait for the phone to ring a little bit. this is incredible. I'm going to read this, and this is from my beautiful friend, Nasim Murakami. That was silent. Inviting some friends in. That's a very unflattering picture. Thank you to everyone for joining me. That's right. Shout out to my cousin Kenneth Barnes. You got to win with Ken. He's Mr. Money Monday. Okay, to my cousin. You know, I don't know if black tourmaline and moldavite would be a good combination. I've heard that moldavite is good to combine with shungite because shungite is a good grounding stone. I've heard that you can use moldavite quite effectively with rose quartz. I do intend on combining these things in the near future, so I think it would be a great thing to do. I don't know. I really don't know. I would have to try to figure that out. And I would like to find that out. But thank you. You know, I just use moldavite. I love these two pieces of moldavite that I have, and I wear them. So I don't really wear them with anything, you know. I've got some announcements to make. Okay. And let's hope that this is true, because this is via the Galactic Federation, also via my friend Nasim Murakami. There will be a number of arrests this week and next week, and we will start to see the indictments served. Trump will move the U.S. away from admiral and maritime law. The Trump team will expose the fraudulent election. The mainstream media was a part of the cabal, of course. We know the election was corrupted. There were more votes than registered voters in many states. When we get into the new system, we don't want the present politicians. 7, when we have another election, it will be a fair system using the quantum voting system. In a few days, Trump will announce NESARA, and we will have to have another election in 120 days. NESARA began in the 1950s, was going to be announced just before President Kennedy was killed, and it was supposed to be announced just before September the 11th of 2001. It is being launched now, meaning that the cabal will lose their control over the world. This is what this is all about. It's not about grabbing pussies, and it's not about somebody supposedly being a white supremacist after 30 years in the media of not being a white supremacist. The city of London will be no more, the financial capital of the Western world. The Federal Reserve was placed into the U.S. Treasury, and the Federal Reserve has already been placed into the U.S. Treasury. The Vatican has collapsed, and the 13 Illuminati families have been arrested. Well, we're going to have to figure that out, because I am a 4th degree Knight of Columbus, and that would be a tragedy for me to find that out. But nevertheless, we're listening to what the Galactic Federation says. NESARA will clear us of our debt. The first to sign into GESARA was North Korea. Wow, North Korea. Remain calm and turn off the mainstream media because it's telling us lies. The ballots used in the election were printed by the Department of Homeland Security. Every legitimate ballot across America was watermarked with QFS blockchain encryption codes. Trump was fully aware of the sting operation and was allowing the Dems to dig themselves deeper into their election fraud. The sophisticated sting operation was intended to catch and expose the massive voter fraud. Everything you are seeing right now with the ballot fraud was completely expected by Trump's people. Thousands and thousands of National Guard troops, over 20,000, have been sent to 12 states right now to assist in securing the legitimate ballots and throwing out the fake ballots printed up by the Democrats as part of their fraud operation. This sting will expose the entire Biden family and get them all convicted and sent to prison. Maybe Hunter's on his way there for other reasons already. 23. All of the ballots were watermarked with QFS blockchain and sent 20,000 or more National Guard troops to the ballot center. Good. The few members of the media who were allowed to be in this operation were able to keep it secret all this time. It has been set up by Trump for a long time. This is our counter coup against the Bidens. Arrests were coming right away, and as of Friday, the 6th of November, it will continue for a long time to come. This is the biggest sting operation in the history of America. Joe Biden openly admitted on camera that the nationwide voter fraud, he did. He openly admitted we have the greatest voter fraud operation known to man. As he also openly admitted to withholding $1 billion from Ukraine in order to get prosecutors fired who were looking into the Burisma scandals that involved kickbacks to his son Hunter. Various online sources were claiming to have behind the scenes access to press releases that weren't yet available to the public. And 30, according to one rumor, the Department of Homeland Security has secretly announced an election audit sting that claimed 80% of the ballots have failed ballot integrity checks. Wow, 80%. This is incredible. This is incredible news. We shall see. We shall hope that this yeah, we shall hope that this turns out to be what it promises to be. If not, I have often stated that the Great Awakening is occurring because we know that the Great Awakening is coming. Being aware of the Great Awakening is the awakening itself. So here we are. I mean, here we are. And let's hope, we have our fingers crossed. Let's hope that we will see justice for the children that were caught up with Jeffrey Epstein and the whole adrenochrome situation. That just makes me sick to even think about. Let's hope. Let's hope and pray that our world shall be delivered into to return to a world of peace and goodness. One of the things that I always remembered about being an American is feeling as though we were the good guys. Is feeling like we were, on the side of right and righteousness. And I've lost that. Many Americans have lost that. I believe the whole psyop of 9/11 was designed to make us, to demoralize us in a very profound way, and to make us feel as though we've lost control of our country and our world, and that the powers that be, right? Society was split between the optimists and the nihilists, right? I'm not even going to say optimist versus pessimist, because pessimism leads to cynicism, leads to nihilism. And unfortunately, the split is about 50-50 between optimists and nihilists, right? It's kind of sad, man. It's kind of sad. This is a spiritual channel, so we want to keep everything on a spiritual basis, on a spiritual level. But what I'm talking about here is spirituality. We have to be able to be honest with ourselves. We have to be able to be honest about everything. And we're not there right now. And that's not where we are. It's not where we're at right now. So perhaps I can share a video with you guys. Perhaps not. I'm not sure. But like I said, feel free to call in. All right. We've got 4 people watching now. Started streaming 35 minutes ago. I would love to have you guys join us and share in your experience. Hope the microphone isn't too loud. I hope I'm not too booming here. Let me check. You will see justice for the children. I've got some news from my good friend Marco Gonzalez out in Switzerland. You know, it's interesting because we have to go through the foreign news in order to get news nowadays. Because, like I said, the lamestream media is they're part of the game. They're part of the act. They're part of the bullshit. Okay. I'm reading about wow, a national emergency to deal with this threat. This is incredible. This is incredible. Executive order. Oh, this was on September the 12th of 2018. Sounds good. Let's see what's going on. Good afternoon. May I help you?
Hi, Devin. This is Marco calling from Switzerland.
Hey, Marco. My favorite expat. All right. How's it going, man?
Did you catch that news that Politico just put Pennsylvania back in the to be determined column?
Really?
That lawsuit about, yeah, so basically, according to Politico's count, Biden's back down to about $254 delegates or something, right?
So it's not 270.
So, no, not from Politico's perspective, because Pennsylvania is being contested in a lawsuit, right? So
Okay.
it's not over yet, right?
It's not over. And you see, I believe, I'm one of George Soros's biggest fans, of course. I believe that, as we know, the press is part of the scam, right? The press is a player here. I believe that the press is intentionally drumming up the emotions of the black community over this quote-unquote victory, so that they could have, people even that more emotionally angry once they find out that, that Kamala is not going to the White House and Biden is not going to the White House. And, and then we'll be back to the Antifa and Black Lives Matter riots and all of that bullshit again.
So I was really puzzled. There were a lot of spinning of the story, of how supposedly black people and also Indians in India were celebrating, right? And I just never really thought of people really kind of identifying with Kamala as one of their own.
Right.
She couldn't even win California. So that's puzzling to me. I mean, I don't know how many black families sit around saying Kamala is one of ours.
Well, unfortunately, too many of them are saying that,
Yeah,
but now that it's over, everybody is applauding her for being the first Southeast Asian to be the vice president.
So if I would have been there, I would have probably covered about 5 different ethnicities, right?
Exactly.
I was like, you would have covered like about 8 different ethnicities.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is kind of comical, right? The other one is, did you see that press release from Trump about foreign collusion?
A foreign?
Yeah, so basically he just put out a press release a few hours ago. That any sort of about sanctions for foreign intervention in foreign leaders calling Biden because this is finished there, right?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I said, man. The minute any foreign head of state recognizes Biden or even utters the word President Biden, it's a civil war. It'll be a civil war. Because when you start with, yeah, of course, when you start talking to a challenger to the president and as though he's the president, then you know that's war. That's war talk, because that means that you're willing to provide military aid to support a president that you recognize instead of the president that is actually on the books as the president of the United States.
Right. So basically, you answered that. You're talking about undermining public confidence in the election, and basically how this has not been determined yet, right?
Yes.
So he's putting warnings out there about this, right? Kind of interesting if you haven't seen it yet.
No, I'm looking for it. It's very good. So you said Trump put this out?
Yeah, it's a by the authority. It's an actual order. You know, by the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution, right? So I, Donald Trump, I'll send you the link. I'll post it to you there.
Well, yeah, I'm reading the executive order on imposing, but this was from September 12th of 2018.
Good point. I didn't see that. I thought it was 2020.
Yeah. No, but it was just foresight. It's just foresight, you know.
Right.
Because you remember they were trying to blame Russian bots for his victory, you know. But think about this, man. Okay, if they had to come up with so many fake ballots to outnumber Trump, that there are more ballots than there are registered voters in many states, then that means that the overwhelming majority of the actual voters voted for Trump. If you had to double the amount of voters in order to beat him, then that means that he won by a landslide.
Right.
You know, I mean,
hopefully they can analyze the whole thing and actually get to the bottom of it. I mean, they have that forensic evidence, and we do have the technology now, the data technology to dig through this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just needs time to fill out. So yeah, don't believe the news.
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible. It's really, really depressing. I went live on YouTube, got no followers. I went live, on Facebook. I'm here on YouTube. I've got a few people watching. It's kind of a somber time, you know. I mean, I talk to my friends, my black friends, and I can hear the exuberance in their voice, the jubilation in their voice, listen, this is not the same as the way I felt after Barack Obama got elected. I cried when Obama got elected, for the simple fact of what it meant symbolically, and the fact that the paradigms we grew up with, right, and thinking that we would never become president, that we would never even have a chance, and that that was part of the quote unquote white man's world, and that we would never be able to touch that. That's not what this is. That's not. This is not that type of a cause for celebration. And I really, I've never really been one to be convinced to hate, right? It's hate, yeah.
It really is just sheer hate. And
sad.
It's disgusting, to be honest.
It is disgusting. And that so many people, yeah, can rejoice in antipathy, can rejoice in, it's not even, we got our guy in, because they know that he's a piece of shit. They know he's a scumbag and a racist and a child molester and a liar and a cheat and a crook. And the thing about it is, right, the reason character is so important, because when you get old, you lose your mental faculty, and your character is all that's left. You know what I mean?
Right.
A dirty old man is a guy who was a dirty young man, and he just got old. That's all. That's all that happens. And so his mental faculty is not what it should be. So yeah, he blurts out, "We've got the greatest voter fraud operation known to man." He said that. He actually said that. He'll blurt out, "Look what I did, about $1 billion and how I had Barack Obama's black ass in my back pocket and told him to call him." And it's like, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
The ridiculous part that I really despise is how for people to sort of take their hate for Trump, that they're channeling for Trump, as if it was a point of virtue,
Right.
No, it's not virtuous, That is not what virtue is. That is not what you want to teach people what virtue is, right? And for them, they consider it virtue to hate and do disgusting things, right?
Oh yeah.
And it's demonic, it's evil. So
it's very demonic. It's very demonic. But remember, they've already been convinced to support abortion and everything. What's really interesting is how the black Catholics, of which I am, are calling white Catholics evil because they voted Republican. And I'm thinking, well, I thought we were all like pro-life,
Right.
And if you can justify voting for abortion because you feel so oppressed by the white man, that's okay. That's one, that's okay if that's how you feel. But how do you turn around and make that being on the good side? How do you turn around and try to say that represents virtue?
So what it is what's happening right now is the left is claiming a narrative, right? That our narrative is we've been on this onward struggle to be virtuous, right?
Yeah.
And